Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a majestic mountain, there lived a young man known for his laziness. While the other villagers toiled away in the fields and workshops, he would spend his days idling under the shade of a tree, napping and daydreaming. However, the monotony of his lazy existence was about to be interrupted. One day, a wise old monk arrived in the village and noticed the young man's indolent ways. Intrigued by his potential, the monk called him over and said, "My son, I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the top of that mountain and bring back a single feather from the highest peak." The young man looked up at the towering mountain and scoffed, dismissing the monk's request as impossible. He retorted, "That's absurd. I'm far too lazy to climb all the way up there," unperturbed by the young man's response. The monk smiled and said, "Oh, but you see, the feather I seek is not on the mountain itself. It is on the other side, in a cave that can only be reached by climbing to the top and descending the other side." Intrigued by the uniqueness of the task, the young man's curiosity was piqued. Despite his laziness, he decided to accept the monk's challenge. The climb was arduous and tested the young man's endurance. He found himself gasping for breath and drenched in sweat. Yet as he ascended higher and higher, a newfound sense of exhilaration and excitement surged within him. He experienced a deep satisfaction and joy he had never felt before when he finally reached the summit. From the mountaintop, he beheld a breathtaking view that stretched out before him. A sense of accomplishment washed over him, and for the first time in his life, he understood the significance of striving for something beyond his comfort zone. However, the true challenge awaited him on the other side of the mountain. The young man had to navigate a treacherous descent, stumbling and falling numerous times. Yet, driven by the promise of the coveted feather, he persevered. Finally, he reached the cave and gazed upon the feather, gleaming in the soft light filtering through the entrance. He marveled at its beauty, but a dilemma arose within him. How would he ascend the mountain once again and return the feather to the monk? For a fleeting moment, the young man contemplated giving up. But then he recalled the sense of accomplishment and pride he had experienced when he reached the summit. He realized that he possessed the strength and determination to endure the climb once more. With aching muscles and burning lungs, he embarked on the journey back up the mountain, refusing to yield to his fatigue. Driven by the knowledge that he had conquered his own laziness and achieved something remarkable, he pressed forward. Finally, he reached the monk and presented him with the feather. The monk smiled and said, "Well done, my son. Today you have learned an invaluable lesson. Laziness is not something to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge to be overcome, a hurdle to be leapt over." The young man nodded, his understanding deepening. He realized that he had always possessed the capability for greatness, but his laziness had held him back. Now enlightened, he resolved to harness his newfound strength and determination to overcome any obstacles that lay in his path. The monk's challenge taught him that laziness should never be accepted or tolerated. It is a call to action, urging us to challenge ourselves and set ambitious goals, no matter how insurmountable they may appear. By pushing beyond our limits, persevering in the face of setbacks, cultivating discipline, and embracing a growth mindset, we can overcome the shackles of laziness and embark on a path of personal growth and accomplishment. And so the young man's story spread throughout the village, inspiring others to overcome their own laziness and strive for greatness. Through his transformative journey, he showed the world that with determination, perseverance, and a willingness to step out of our comfort zones, we can achieve remarkable feats and become a source of inspiration for others.